Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this chilly Tuesday.
You know, it still feels like January, doesn't it?
It really does, and we got a long way to go. But let's get our minds off of that, and we can start thinking about plants.
That's right.
Christmas and the holidays.
That's right. We're going to be taking your calls today for Lisa Briggs at the Bruce Company. She's going to join us live from the Bruce Company, which is all decked out for the holidays.
Hopefully she'll be in the Christmas display area.
I hope so, too.
We'll get to that in a bit, but first, here's what's making news on this Tuesday. A court appearance for a Beloit man accused of murder.
Denials from the White House and Paul Manafort that the former campaign chair ever met with the founder of WikiLeaks.
And a white-knuckle first flight on a hang glider. The rider survives and says he may try it again.
Yeah, this one will make you... you
Not going to hang glider.
No, it's something. Let's take a look outside today. Another cloudy and cool day today.
Some flurries. Thin ice keep off, but that ice, I'm sure, is thickening as we speak. Too many clouds. Chris Reese is in the backyard with that forecast. Boy, chilly out there.
That's right, and those clouds are producing a little bit of snow flurries coming down out here right now, so I will take it. It's what we can get for this time of the year, but it's been a pretty chilly day out there. We've seen those temperatures not make it really beyond the low 20s. 22 is that temperature right now, and a lot of this flurry activity that a lot of us have seen is not really being picked up by the moisture out there. 23, that was our high today, which was a forecast high, still though 15 degrees below where we should be for this time of the year. We still have temperatures in the 20s across much of the state. Some folks are still in the teens right now. Camp Douglas and Wautoma. Janesville, one of the warmer spots at 27, but we zoom out across the upper Midwest, and all of us continue to see those temperatures in the teens and 20s right now, and we're leading into another pretty chilly night. But we've had the cloud cover all day long. That has allowed the northwesterly flow to bring in those rounds of snow showers, and so we'll keep that going for as long as we have the cloud cover out there. In addition, we also have those winds coming out of the north and northwest at about 8 to 10 miles per hour in most spots. So that's creating a wind chill that's about 9 to 10 degrees colder than a lot of spots. It feels like 13 right now here in Madison, feeling like 11 degrees in the Dells right now. But in your forecast first, expect the clouds and flurries to continue during the overnight hours. Temperatures will fall back into the low 20s and teens. First alert traffic, this is the Beltline at Todd Drive right now, and it is moving along, which is great news for this Tuesday afternoon commute. I've been keeping a close eye on things, and so far we don't have too many issues, but we are seeing those brake lights start to show up on Stoughton Road along with Verona Road right now as we head downtown. Just some typical slowdown spots showing up where we would expect them for this time of the day. But for now, if you're headed on the Beltline, there are no issues getting to where you're going as of now.
That is good news. It looks like a snow globe out there.
It does look like a snow globe. Very beautiful out here on the weather patio. I might have to spend some extra time enjoying it.
But no travel problems. It's just flurries.
Just flurries.
All right, Chris.
I love how
he loves
you're
the snow.
so positive and happy. That's just what we need, Chris.
Thank you.
We'll see you in a few minutes.
First at 4, the man suspected of killing 49-year-old Jose Reyes last week in Beloit made his first appearance in court today.
Ezekiel Acosta appeared in a video conference for his first hearing in front of a judge today. He's accused of shooting Reyes last week, the night before Christmas. Reyes was taken to the hospital where he died. Now, Acosta is facing charges of first-degree intentional homicide. The court decided to continue the hearing until Friday. In about an hour, we'll hear more from the Beloit Police Department about this ongoing case. Top Republicans at the state capitol are laying out the measures they plan to take up before Governor-elect Tony Evers takes office.
Will they take up a tax break bill for paper giant Kimberly Clark? Rose Schmidt is live from the Capitol to tell us where lawmakers stand on this measure. Rose?
Well, Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald says as of today, Republicans don't have the support to pass that Kimberly Clark bill. They still need 6 or 7 votes. Now, that bill is designed to keep a Kimberly Clark plant in northeastern Wisconsin open by providing up to $100 million in incentives from the state. The state assembly already passed the proposal, and Governor Walker is urging senators on both sides to pass it as well. Without support from all Republicans, though, Democrats would need to vote for it. So far, though, none have said they would. Fitzgerald says a number of senators are concerned about the dollar amount or that they would set a precedent for all businesses in danger of closing.
I think there's people that are just like, wow, you know, Are we going to have to kind of do the same thing if there's another corporation the size of Kimberly-Clark that suddenly announces some type of planned closing?
Both state assembly and Senate Republicans met separately today to talk about their plans for that lame duck session. There is still talk of moving the 2020 presidential primary from April to March and limiting the governor's power over implementing certain rules. The lawmakers could come back to the Capitol as soon as next week for that lame duck session. Tony Evers is calling that session a last, final desperate attempt from Republicans to hold on to their power. Back to you.
All right, Rose Schmidt reporting live for us from the state capitol. Thank you.
The White House says the president has not been involved in any wrongdoing 1 day after his former campaign chairman was accused of lying to the special counsel. Nicole Killian has more from the White House.
The president was involved in no wrongdoing, was not part of any collusion.
The White House appeared to distance itself from new developments in special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian collusion.
We're ready for this to wrap up.
The president's former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, pled guilty in September to criminal conspiracy charges in exchange for his cooperation with the investigation. Yesterday, Mueller filed documents with a D.C. federal court saying Manafort committed federal crimes by lying to the FBI and the special counsel's office on a variety of subject matters which constitute breaches of agreement. Manafort's lawyers told the court he believes he provided truthful information. The president unleashed several tweets accusing special counsel Mueller of damaging the justice system, yet some lawmakers are worried a presidential pardon could do more damage.
I think a pardon would provoke a firestorm here. It would be solid evidence of obstruction of justice.
Defenders of the president say they think it's unlikely.
Don't see Mr. Manafort getting a pardon.
The White House also tamped down on talks of a pardon.
I'm not aware of any conversations for anyone's pardon.
The special counsel has also requested a judge no longer delay sentencing Manafort, who could spend the rest of his life in prison. In Washington, Nicole Killian for WISC News 3.
President Trump's lawyers turned in his answers to the special counsel's written questions regarding the Russia probe last week.
And the last of the midterm elections is being held today in Mississippi, a Senate race that has gained national attention. Voters are choosing between a white Republican backed by President Trump and a black Democrat who's a former congressman and former U.S. Agriculture Secretary. Appointed Republican Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith and Democrat Mike Espy are competing for the final 2 years of a term started by retired Republican Senator Thad Cochran. Espy seeks to become Mississippi's first black U.S. senator since Reconstruction. A state agency started a year ago offers up an action plan to fight homelessness in the state.
The Interagency Council on Homelessness presented its first recommendations today. Eric Franke's in the newsroom with more on their proposal. Eric?
Yeah, Susan and Mark, this 30-page plan, it's called A Hand and a Home, Foundations for Success. And really, never before has any state agency offered up such a comprehensive proposal to fight homelessness in Wisconsin. This focuses on housing first, finding folks a place to stay with no conditions attached, but then connects them with one-on-one with case management to make sure they have better outcomes, making sure that if anyone does fall into homelessness, it is a rare, brief, one-time experience.
Housing first is not housing only. We need to surround folks who are experiencing homelessness with good case management, helping out the causes, not only the symptoms.
This kind of infusion of resources to help with all the issues around homelessness are going to help dramatically.
The plan calls for $3.75 million in new state spending each year through the year 2022. And the next step will be for the legislature to adopt many of the policy recommendations in this report. Roughly 22,000 people experienced homelessness in Wisconsin and received services and shelter last year, and thousands more who are homeless did not and are still on the street. That's something this agency hopes to end. Mark and Susan.
All right, Eric Franke live in the newsroom. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The creator of Nickelodeon's biggest all-time hit, SpongeBob SquarePants, has died. Steven Hillenburg died this morning of ALS, a rare terminal illness that affects nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord. SpongeBob aired for nearly 2 decades since its premiere in 1999, bringing characters SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, and others to life. The franchise became a movie in 2004, and the squishy yellow guy also made a move to Broadway. Stephen Hillenburg was just 57 years old.
So young. Well, we have nerve-wracking video now showing a tourist clinging for life on a hang glider in Switzerland. Chris Gursky's harness was not properly attached when he and a pilot launched themselves off a 4,000-foot mountain ledge. It was his first hang gliding, and for more than 2 minutes, he dangles from the hang glider, flying over trees as they head toward a large grassy landing area. His hand began to slip while he was swinging in the wind. They're way up there. And once his feet hit the ground, he was ripped away from the landing gear, and he broke his wrist. They're trying to get lower, but they kept going higher and higher.
That grassy area looks quite far away, doesn't it?
They're finally moving in on it now. They got down to the bottom, and he got caught on the ground and then hit the ground. He ended the video with these words: "I will go hang gliding again, as I did not get to enjoy my first flight."
Boy, is he lucky.
Yeah, he's lucky. He just broke a wrist. Why wasn't he? The harness, I think, is on the other side.
I'm not sure what happened there, but you could tell right after they took off that something was
wrong.
Seriously wrong.
Yeah, he is lucky. Well, there's more to come at 4. He was the official White House photographer for the Reagan and Obama administrations.
Now Pete Souza is out with a new book called Shade, A Tale of Two Presidents. He'll join us next to talk about life in the White House, and he's holding a book signing in Madison tonight as well. That's when Live at 4 continues.
Welcome back. Facebook faced tough questions from international politicians at a hearing today on disinformation and fake news.
The grilling took place at Britain's parliament. The committee demanded answers from Facebook on data privacy, security, and safety, and accused the Facebook executive of dodging questions. Lawmakers from 9 countries blasted Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook's CEO, for not showing up. Politicians left an empty chair for him as the tech giant's vice president of public policy took the heat.
Is there a feeling amongst Facebook and the staff that trust in Facebook has plummeted?
Absolutely. It's a major concern, a major topic of conversation.
British lawmakers began investigating Facebook after UK political consulting firm Cambridge Analytica used personal information from tens of millions of users to influence political campaigns.
Stocks closed higher on Wall Street. The Dow Industrials gained 108 points, closing at 24,748. The NASDAQ Composite Index was fractionally higher, and the S&P 500 added 8. Well, Pete Sousa was the chief official White House photographer for Presidents Ronald Reagan and Barack Obama. He had top security clearance and full access to the leaders of the free world.
Sousa has a new book out now. It's called Shade, A Tale of Two Presidents, in which he juxtaposes images from the past administration with the current one. Pete Sousa, welcome to Live at 4. Nice to see you.
Congratulations on the book.
Thank you.
So shade, for those who may not be familiar, is sort of a way of criticizing someone. Why are you throwing shade at the president?
Well, as you mentioned, I worked for both President Obama and President Reagan, and both of them respected the office of the presidency and respected other people. And I don't feel the current president does that. And I thought that I had a unique voice on Instagram to point this out, and now I've turned it into a book.
So that's where it started on your Instagram
Yes.
post. You started a private Instagram after you left the Obama administration.
Right, and I kind of started doing the throwing shade probably the first week after the inauguration.
So what you do is you take a tweet from Donald Trump, and then you juxtapose it with an image from President Obama.
With a snarky comment.
With a snarky?
Or a humorous comment.
Like, for instance, the first one in the book is about the president claiming that his audience for the inauguration was the biggest ever, right?
Right.
And then you show this picture of the Obama inauguration.
Which was
the biggest ever.
Really the biggest crowd ever at an inauguration.
Once you started digging into this, were you surprised how easy it was to juxtapose?
It was pretty easy. I would just have to either look at his tweets every day or news stories in the Washington Post and New York Times, which is where I gathered most of my material from.
But White House photographers traditionally are not household names. They are sort of more in the background and recorders of history. So why did you decide to really kind of be as high profile as you're being?
Well, I think it really started during the administration, because we became the administration that happened to be there when social media exploded. So the administration took my photographs and posted them on Flickr and Instagram, and because of that, a lot of my pictures became known, even though maybe people didn't know who I was specifically. But then I felt that it was my civic duty to speak out after Trump was elected, just the way he disrespects the office. And I didn't feel I could not speak out.
What was it like photographing the Obamas? They seemed very open and very warm to each other?
I mean, one of the things that was helpful to me is that I actually knew him for 4 years before he became president, and I had developed a professional relationship with him when I was working for the Chicago Tribune.
When he was running for Senate.
So
right?
that he sort of knew how I worked, and he knew a little bit about me, and that made it easy to make sure that I had access to pretty much everything that he did as president.
That's a famous picture right there.
That was during the Bin Laden raid, in the Situation Room, watching and that's a picture of him with his girls in the snow, and for the moment of silence for the Boston Marathon.
This, as a photographer, it seems like it would be the greatest job in the world. How did you get this job? Just because when you knew him, when he was running, he asked you to do it?
I had met him when I was working for the Chicago Tribune, and spent so much time with him those first 2 years in the Senate especially, that he sort of got to know me, as I said. And I think we developed a pretty good working professional relationship. And then when he was elected president, asked me to become his photographer.
And they let you run free reign?
I had pretty much free reign, yeah.
Well, what if President Trump asked you to do this? I mean, is there an argument to be made that maybe you don't know him because you don't have the inside access that you had before? Do you think that would make a difference in the way you perceive him?
I don't think so.
Would you entertain that if he offered it to you?
You know, maybe I would have entertained it, you know, before he was elected. I don't know. But I mean, I think he's shown what kind of a person he is, and I don't know that I could work for a person like that.
Do you have a favorite picture?
You know, I always tell people it's the one I take tomorrow, right? Mm-hmm. There's a picture, I don't even think it's in this book, and it's in my last book, where the little 5-year-old African-American kid is touching his head because his haircut looked like president's.
Yeah, that was a spectacular
That was an
picture.
iconic photo, yeah.
Well, it's fascinating. It's spectacular pictures. No matter what your political stripe is, they're great photographs.
Thank you.
And you have a book signing tonight at the Mystery to Me bookstore on Monroe Street. It starts at 6 o'clock. Tickets are still available for that. So come out and get your book signed by Pete. Shade, The Tale of Two Presidents.
Congratulations on the book, Pete. This is your second book, right?
Second book.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, great to
Good
see you. Thanks for coming tonight.
We'll be right back. Take a look at this. Two NASA engineers give each other an epic handshake while celebrating the InSight lander reaching Mars yesterday. Turns out these two were inspired by San Francisco 49er players Marquis Goodman and Kendrick Bourne, who did this handshake during a game during September. Since then, they've been practicing for the big moment, but they'll admit the NFL players did it better.
Oh, that's cute.
Isn't that cute?
That makes me think of some of the things the high schoolers I work with do all the time.
All those fancy handshakes, yeah?
I know. Well, it is Tuesday, November 27th. It is Giving Tuesday, the National Day of Giving. It's a day to donate money to your favorite nonprofit organization.
That's right. We had Cyber Monday and Black Friday. Now, do it for nonprofits.
It's also National Bavarian Cream Pie Day. It is a gelatin-based pastry cream originally served in gourmet restaurants and luxury hotels in France in the early 19th century.
We don't have a cream pie prop, but we do have jerky. It's National Jerky Day. Whether it's beef, pork, venison, buffalo, or bird, enjoy some jerky. I like beef jerky, but it's tough to eat on the air.
And it's tough on your teeth.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a little tough.
Well, this is some big jerky.
Oh, wow. I'll save a piece for after the
I'm gonna
weather
have a
segment.
nibble.
I know.
Okay, I'm told while I'm chewing on this, we should mention that the tickets for Pete Sousa's book signing tonight are sold out.
That's right. Sorry about that.
So there are no tickets available.
Yeah.
All right, well, tickets aren't sold out to the forecast, so that's coming up after the break.
I got something else to do tonight. I'll chew on this all
Stick
night.
around. We've got some light snow flurries flying out there right now, but we're going to talk about the rest of the forecast and how long we'll be staying this cold coming up. We've kept the clouds and the snow flurries around practically all day today, and that's all due to this upper level of low pressure over parts of southeastern Canada. We've had this northwesterly flow on the north and western side of that. That's brought snow showers in through Madison, even through parts of Kentucky. They've got accumulating snow going on down there. This is all a part of the departing region of low pressure that brought the blizzard to parts of the upper Midwest over the weekend. But that's also tapping in to a lot of that cold air, folks. You can see where it is. Temperatures in the 20s all the way down to the Queen City of Cincinnati. Indy at 22 right now. You go over towards Springfield, it's 20, even below freezing in St. Louis right now. Here in Madison, our temperature is 21 degrees. We've still got the clouds, and flurries are still falling right here at the station as of now, but it's not really being picked up on the radar all too well. Most of it's low-level moisture, but wind still coming out of the northwest at 9 miles per hour. That's creating a little bit of a wind chill on top of temperatures that are a tad bit cooler than we were this time yesterday. Not huge, but anywhere from about 2 to 9 degrees cooler than we were just 24 hours ago. And so we're still watching those cooler temperatures settle into town. And we're at 21 now, 19 in Camp Douglas and Wautoma. But all of us are mostly seeing those temperatures in the 20s, except for our friends that are in the teens. And then here are the winds coming out of the west and northwest at anywhere from about 8 to 13, 14, maybe even 15 miles per hour this afternoon. It's creating the wind chills, though, that are very, very chilly. 11 is what it feels like in Madison. Juneau and Fond du Lac feeling like 8 degrees right now. Janesville's a little bit warmer. They're in the mid-20s, but it still feels substantially cooler at 17 miles per hour right now. The thing is, 23 is as warm as we got. Typically, we top out around 38 degrees for this time of the year. So we're seeing those temperatures again, 15 degrees below normal, and that's been something we've dealt with all month long. I mean, if we were to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's too many to truly count. But what's easier to count is the number of days that we've had above average, and that is 5 for the month so far. We will see if we can add another, but even that's going to be a slim chance. In fact, as we go through tomorrow, those temperatures are going to be staying below average, starting out around 14 degrees for your Wednesday morning. I do think we'll see some sunshine, but we'll top out into the 20s as we go farther through the day. Wind chill wise, though, temperatures are going to be in the single digits again as far as what it feels like tomorrow morning as you're headed to work or towards the bus stop. And then wind chills will actually be closer to the actual air temperatures tomorrow afternoon. That cold air finally working its way on out of town, and then we see a little bit of warmer air from the plains. It's going to be working its way to the north as we go through coming days. So here's a light chance for snow coming in tomorrow night. That is the leading edge of some of that warmer air into your Thursday. Here we are Thursday afternoon. You see some upper 30s beginning to show up along with lower 30s. That's not somewhere we've been, but we could see 40 as we get you towards the weekend as well. Saturday, a day with rain and temperatures in the 40s. And then we're dropping again after that. I know we have chilly air that's going to be in control of our pattern, but as we go through time, that chilly air takes over and then gives way to some colder air. And let's talk about the setup leading into that. This is the kind of setup with milder air over the southeast and that colder air working in from the north that can send a storm track anywhere from the plains through the Ohio Valley and the upper Midwest. And that could mean some additional snowmakers on the way. I'll touch on that. But then the cold takes over as we go farther into December. So it's going to be a brutal winter pattern, at least for a couple of weeks. But here is that setup that I talked about with that storm track going through the Midwest here. This is December 3rd. Pay attention to this region of low pressure. It starts out with some snow in the plains. That storm track then tracks to the north. That could impact us with snow. Of course, that's a ways out. We'll watch it. But then over into the Ohio Valley. Again, details are fuzzy, but the pattern is one that is conducive for that. So we will certainly keep a close eye on that. 14 degrees tonight. Again, very chilly. Wind chills will be in the single digits as we head into tomorrow. We'll see those highs, though, a bit warmer at 29. Still, though, mostly cloudy and cold. And again, I can't rule out a chance of a flurry after the weather we've seen today. But then the snow chances, do return again as we go into your Thursday. Friday will be warmer, mostly cloudy with the moisture rocking and rolling back on into town. We'll see 40 by Saturday. Most of Saturday will be rain, but you will have some chances for some snow to mix in at times during that. And then by next Tuesday, we are cold once again, right around 29 degrees, and then 25 with the slight snow chance as we head into next Thursday.
Well, eventually the average temperature is going to come down and meet where we are, and then it'll be average.
If that's right, and we have a chance to do that this weekend, but even still, we drop again below average.
So, yeah. All right.
We're staying there.
What can you do?
Just get used to
Enjoy
it, I guess.
Yes.
Smile like Chris does.
Thank you, Chris. Well, Baby Centers released the top newborn baby names of 2018.
The most popular girl name is Sophia. The rest of the top 5 are Olivia, Emma, Ava, and Isabella. And for the 6th year in a row, Jackson is the most popular name for boys. The rest of the top 5 for boys, Liam, Noah, Aiden, and Caden.
No Susan, no Mark. The hottest trending names come from Zen, including Peace and Sky. People are looking at the Kardashian babies for names, too. Stormy, Dream, and Saint. Significant increases. Don't forget to name your baby after food. Kitty?
Kiwi.
Oh, kiwi.
Kiwi and kale.
How do you? That isn't how you spell kiwi.
It's a typo on the script. It's kiwi.
Kitty is kind of food. I think Charlotte, if she would ever have another child, she'd name it Kale.
Yeah, she does love kale. That's true.
But that ain't coming. All right, when we come back, the search of the perfect pillow.
Consumer Reports is on the case. We'll find out what they found when Live at 4 continues.
Here's a live look at downtown Madison on this chilly Tuesday. It looks cold, doesn't it?
It does,
Smoke,
yeah.
Steam going by. A pillow has one basic job: to keep your head and your neck aligned while you sleep.
But with so many choices like anti-snore, memory foam, and wedge pillows filling store shelves, how do you know which one is right for you?
Our Josh Sprider and Consumer Reports reveal expert advice on whether specialty pillows actually work, plus some shopping tips to help you pick the pillow of your dreams.
Well, this is it. These are some Consumer Reports staffers trying out a specialty L-shaped pillow. It claims to support your head, neck, shoulders, and upper chest. It's among several new specialty pillows CR took a look at, including anti-snore, cervical, and wedge-shaped. The results from what they found? Well, you need to almost sleep on it.
So many people look for a pillow that feels right in the store, but a squeeze can only tell you so much. You actually need to lay on it for 10 to 15 minutes before your neck starts to sink into the pillow.
And because everybody's body is different, CR says there's no one-size-fits-all. For example, cervical pillows claim to alleviate neck pain.
Experts we've spoken to say that a cervical pillow can help alleviate neck pain, but a lot of it depends upon fit. If that pillow is too high or too low, it can affect the way that your neck is laying on it and can cause more pain.
Another mistake people tend to make, overcorrecting what's wrong with their current pillow.
If they have a pillow that's too flat or too soft, they might go look for one that's a lot fuller and firmer. Or they'll sleep on too many pillows, but that could upset the natural curve of their neck. Instead, we recommend that people try to find a pillow that fits their sleep position.
If you are a back sleeper, CR found one of the specialty wedge pillows may be an option.
If you have snoring or sinus issues, that wedge pillow can elevate your head and might relieve some of that pressure.
Side sleepers have more options, but you still want to make sure your pillow is properly supporting you.
4 inches off the mattress was the best way to maintain the natural curve in your head and your neck.
Consider firm or extra firm pillows made from memory foam or latex to keep your head at a proper angle. With this Consumer Reports, I'm Josh Breiter, WISC News 3.
And Consumer Report says no matter where you buy it or which kind of pillow you buy, make sure they have a good return policy. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, sleep is elusive.
It really is.
And so you need something to help you sleep.
And pillows are tough.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
Well, it's time to get your plant questions answered.
Lisa Briggs is standing by live at the Bruce Company in Middleton. Hi, Lisa.
Hello, how are you guys today?
Good, very good. We'll take your calls at 270-9933, so call now. And Lisa, we're getting ready for the holidays, right? It looks beautiful in there.
It is. Are we dreaming of a white Christmas or a blue Christmas?
I don't know, not blue. See you in a few minutes.
See you in a minute.
Here's traffic right now. This is the Beltline at Todd Drive, and it is moving a little bit better than it was yesterday, but still, especially as we work our way towards Verona Road and Seminole Highway, we are seeing more of those brake lights showing up in both directions. Here's the map around town right now, and one of our slowest spots is between about John Nolan and Park Street. That's where traffic on the eastbound side of the Beltline moving about 33 miles per hour right now. As we hop on over towards Verona Road, we're seeing some slowdowns there as well, especially as you begin to head south and west towards places like Raymond Road and Williamson and over towards McKee, towards Fitchburg. Now, as we come back closer towards the Isthmus, there are still some brake lights, but no major slowdowns showing up as of now. And otherwise, across Dane County, we're seeing a little bit of slowdowns outbound on Highway 14 going towards Oregon. But the interstates are in good shape, which is good news for your traffic. For the most part, if you are on the westbound Beltline or eastbound Beltline, it is doing well. But the westbound Beltline running into more problems as of now. Guys?
All right, Chris, thank you. You may not realize it as you decorate your Christmas tree, but Poland is one of the largest Christmas ornament manufacturers, exporting them around the world. This year, the trendy colors are lilac, violet, mint, and various kinds of celadon. Of course, the traditional colors of red, white, and gold are always in fashion. And if you want to check out Christmas ornaments, the Bruce Company is the place to be. Lisa Briggs is there with us, taking your calls at 270-9933.
Hi, Lise.
Hello.
Boy, before we get to the calls, can you turn around and grab that blue poinsettia behind you? Is that, I've never seen a blue one before.
Well, you know, they don't grow like this naturally.
No, yes, I know that.
They're sort of spray painted with some vegetable dye. And if you look closely, they're glittery too.
Oh, they're very pretty.
Oh.
But they come in lavender and, you know, pink and a number of unnatural looking colors, but they're super popular and certainly exotic.
They certainly are. Yeah. I'll stick with red, as you know, Lisa. Let's get to the calls. We'll start with Chris in Verona. Go ahead, Chris.
Hi, Lisa. I was just wondering which plants I can cut down or mow in the fall. I have a friend of mine that mows his flower gardens at the last time he mows his grass, and he says that's fine for all plants, but I was wondering if that's true.
Well, probably for most perennials, that would be fine. Gets rid of any diseases that your garden harbored during the growing season. For woody plants, I would not mow back unless it's specifically required by that plant. So if you went in doubt, just, you know, just double check to make sure that that's an appropriate measure to take with the plants that you have.
There's some satisfaction in mowing down a big hosta. I don't know what it is.
There is. All right, let's go to Jeanette in Boston. Hi, Jeanette. What's your question?
Hi, Lisa. I'm wondering what type of fertilizer would I use for a nectarine tree? This was raised from just a pit.
Okay.
Our grandson. And so it is now about 3 feet tall from the pot.
And you have it growing outside or inside?
No, we brought it in, and when the weather started getting cold, we brought it in. It lost its leaves, but they're coming back.
It's really going to need a dormancy period to develop the way it's supposed to. So maybe you want to put it in like a warm corner of your garage, or if you have a really cool spot, say in your basement, and sort of let it dry out between waterings. And then any fertilizing that you would do to it, you would do it in the spring. You don't want to fertilize it now.
Okay, interesting. All right, let's go to Kathleen in Wadiwak. Hi, Kathleen.
Hi.
What's your question?
I have a hibiscus plant that I purchased late summer at a garden center, and so I brought it in when it started getting cold. And I don't really know how to take care of it. I've been watering it just on and off when it feels dry. Okay. But the leaves are falling off, and I don't know whether I should keep watering it or trim it off. I don't. My niece had one, and hers got big like a tree.
Yeah, hibiscus, especially the tropical ones, need a really, really, really sunny, bright spot in your house. And when you move them from outside to inside, they will often, leaves will turn yellow and they'll drop off, or any flower beds that you have will drop off. So just put it in the sunniest place you have, let it dry completely between waterings, don't fertilize it, and then as the new buds start to pop where the leaves have fallen off, you could do a little trim on it to sort of shape it a little bit. And then in the summer when it gets warm again, night temperatures above 50, you can put it back outside.
All right. Okay, very good. Let's go to Christine in Grand Marsh. Hi, Christine. What's your question?
Yeah, I have a Christmas cactus, and I was wondering about the watering.
Oh, that's
I knew there was going to be a Christmas cactus question, so I had one handy.
How did you know that, Lisa? How did you know that?
Not even brought to me by my usual elves. Christmas cactus are they're a type of cactus, so you want them to dry between waterings and then thoroughly water it so that the water comes out of the bottom of the pot. And then sometimes, depending on how big the pot is, they could go maybe a week or two, at least a week, and maybe longer between waterings. So make sure that when you put your finger in that pot that it's dry the first couple top inches.
All right, on the same theme, let's go to Vicki in Jefferson. Hi, Vicki.
Yes.
Go ahead, what's your question?
I have a Christmas cactus and an Easter cactus. And they're big plants. And they bloomed for me just beautifully the first few years I had them. And I aerate the soil. We've used potting soil. I let them get dried out, and then I water them. I just can't seem to get them to bloom anymore, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
With the cactus, Christmas cactus and Easter cactus, it's about day length. And so what I have found for the best luck is if you put them outside in the summertime and then leave them till the nights are, flirting with like 45. They can take a little bit of coolness, and those shortening days and that little bit of cooler temperatures will spur them to and will help to promote flower bud. There's not anything, especially with the Christmas cactus, that you can do now unless you have a little used room where you can put it where it just gets daylight and no artificial light. But just keep it healthy and then try putting it outside, and I bet that will help you a lot getting for flowers for next year.
'Tis the season of Christmas cactus. Lisa, Brees, thanks for your time. Thanks for everyone for calling in. We're out of time, so we'll do it again soon.
Thanks, Lisa. Great to see you.
See you guys later.
The final check of your forecast coming up. Bundle up if you're heading out.
Oh yeah, it's going to be another cold night. Wind chills are already in the teens. Actual air temperatures will be moving towards the teens. I do think we might break up the clouds a little bit and get rid of the flurries for tonight, but there's a slight chance of those coming back tomorrow. Again, that's a very tiny chance. I think the better chance for snow is going to be tomorrow night and into Thursday. But as you plan tomorrow, start out with a jacket, and by the afternoon, more clouds and temperatures will be in the upper 20s.
A jacket and mittens and a hat and gloves.
Everything that you will need for the cold, you will need tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Coming up tomorrow here on Live at 4, we've got some steaming hot soup recipes perfect for these chilly evenings with Angie Horkin from the Wisconsin Beef Council.
And our electronics on your holiday shopping list? We'll get this year's hot products from the editors at CNET. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.